How can we help you today?
So I'm kind of in a fix. I I feel like I have I'm almost losing all hope. We've been married 7 years, and I found out that my husband was having like affairs with several different women, like right in the first year of our marriage.
Mhm.
Right after I had our first son, and when I found out like what, how many years later? Like 3 years later, and then I forgave him spontaneously because he apologized. And I said to myself, it was a mistake, and anyone can make a mistake. But then I realized that it didn't stop.
Mm.
So, but then the second time when I found out, that was another year later, I realized he had also gone back to chatting to one of the women I initially discovered he was talking to. But then he had made a new contact again at his new place of work. And so I opened up again and had this conversation, and I even told him I was okay if he would come to me if he felt like he started having a weakness for a woman, and
Mhm.
he could feel free to talk to me,
Mhm.
and let's talk it over together, and we would pray together and stuff like that. But on top of all of this that had been happening, it also helped me to understand why he had been having some like anger issues towards me. Like sometimes if he's upset, he would say really mean things to me, or stuff like that. And it happened over the years. And when I found out about the affairs, I understood why. But then
Mhm.
in the midst of all of this, I have prayed and waited and tried to work on myself, you know, done what I could, but I feel like I'm at the end of my ropes, to be honest. And I don't know if there's any point really staying, because sometimes it feels I feel you feel come to a point where you feel like you're being used, like someone is actually sorry, not because they're sorry, but because they got caught.
Mhm.
Because on no occasion has this person ever come up by themselves spontaneously to say, "Oh, I'm struggling with this." Never. I've had to find out, and then oh, they're sorry all of a
You've
sudden.
always found out on your
And
own every
yes,
time.
I've always found out on my own, every
Um,
single time.
Annie, is it and are these affairs still happening as far as you know?
Quite honestly, I do not know, because stopped checking the phone. At some point, I said maybe I should just stop focusing on that, and I started working on myself. And then I just stopped checking his phone. I haven't checked it for as long as I can remember. And but the thing is that, how can I explain? There's this lack of emotional connection now, and in fact, one of the reasons why I thought, you know what, this might just be I might be at the end of the rope is um a few days ago or last week, he wanted to be intimate, but then I'm not emotionally connected. So while I tend not to say no, it's obvious that I'm not present, and I can't help it, because to be honest, I feel like, like when you're being used like a slut, like, yeah, like someone doesn't really love you,
Mhm.
because in my mind I'm like, if someone loves you and they really want to make things right, they would have those hard conversations. Every time I try to like talk about those things so that I can actually heal and, you know, and be reassured that he actually cares, he almost kind of shuts off the topic most times. And that makes it really hard.
So this past week when he tried to be intimate with you, was it the first time that you had refused?
I didn't refuse, quite honestly. It's not like I refuse, but I'm not present emotionally, and it's obvious. Like I'm just sitting there, and yeah,
So
that's it.
the notes on the screen that we see says everything escalated recently when he was trying to be intimate. Do you mean escalated within your relationship or escalated within you?
Within me. Like
Okay.
after that, to be honest,
Okay.
um, because it's something that's been going on, and I have explained to him already that one of the things I need is really to talk through these things. He has never really sat with me and gone through. In fact, there's one of the occasions one of the times I caught the text,
Hmm.
and up to date, he has never ever given me any kind of explanation. So he just deleted it. I don't know whatever who it is, what happened,
Yeah.
and I had to just move on because he said he was sorry.
Yeah. I mean, Annie, this sounds like a classic case of, I need to stop touching my microphone. This sounds like a classic case of there has not been, like, he was discovered, he was found out, but then there wasn't the appropriate actions taken in order to stop the offending behavior, rebuild, put accountability in place, and then rebuild trust. It's really like, from what you've been
Correct.
saying to me, you find out, you forgive him, everything's swept under the rug, there's no consequences or anything, and
Correct.
it just continues to happen. And so nothing's going to change unless you begin to change. I mean, you need to forgive. Forgiveness is great, but the repeated offended behavior is the problem.
There is two possibilities here. One is an addiction, and the other one is what Kimberly says, that is the fact that he didn't suffer any consequences, so he still think, well, I did like what I did, I shouldn't be doing. I don't know. We didn't ask where his belief and values are, where if they land on anything on any base.
Yeah, she said they prayed together. Does that mean, are you both Christians, Annie?
Yes, we do. He
Okay.
is a Christian.
Okay.
Okay. Do you guys try, or do you offer to go to counseling, marriage counseling, or anything together before?
I don't. That he's so shut off to certain things, and that's one thing I don't think he would even ever consider. Because we've had an older couple speak over us before, like all through these 7 years, as a matter of fact. We've had an older couple help us. Like, they've been practically the ones even pointing out to him, like, this is wrong, you can't be doing this to her. And that's also one of the problems I have, is that every time he has had to, like, apologize, it has been when, they have come in, like, and I have had to go report it, and then they came in and said, you can't be doing this. So it's not really been spontaneous, and for me that's a problem.
Well, I'm usually quite direct with the people I coach, and if your spouse is not willing to cooperate in working on the marriage, then basically you're on your own. But also, that's where in Marriage Helper, that's where coaching comes in, because we tell everybody you cannot control that person, but you can start implementing certain changes in your behavior and the way you approach that relationship, that it will influence him to start looking to the side and say, okay, what's going on here? Maybe I need to do something about this. And of course, we don't have 2 hours to go through a coaching session, but I will encourage you to actually talk to one of our coaches.
Yeah, I mean, Annie, it's and not just in the way of like work on your pies. It says you've been working on your pies, and from it, you sound very grounded, very based. I mean, the fact that you've been able to handle understanding and learning about multiple affairs, forgive, and then just like stuff things down and continue moving forward shows that you have some ability to be able to control your emotions, which is great. My concern for you at this point, Annie, is like, you're also going to have to get a backbone and stand up to him for him to not continue to do these things. And that is love. So it isn't just kind of what we were talking about at the beginning of this whole show. There's working on your pies, and those things are great. But then there's also understanding the way you show up. And it's not about being a doormat. Some people need to be a little more meek in the way that they show up with their spouse because they've been a bulldozer. I don't think that's you from what we hear from you. I think you're going to have the opposite challenge point of you're going to have to like start maybe setting some safeguards that offer protection and things that are going to protect you, because you can't continue to live like this for the next 7 years of your life.
But it's also not going from being a rag to all of a sudden I cannot take it anymore.
Right.
And just this is it. You do
Yeah.
this or we do that, or we
Ultimatums. It's not about ultimatums.
It is that gray area
Yeah.
with a implement process of increasing the boundary level over a period of time. And you start on the low end of the boundary levels, and you start incrementing if he doesn't respond to the first threshold, second threshold, and so forth. And that's what coaching is really good for.
Yeah. I know it's a hard place to be, Annie, but what I hope you take from this is you are stronger than maybe you believe you are. I can hear the strength in your voice. But from this point forward, it's like go that next level. It's more now than just working on your pies. It's learning how to set up those boundaries in order to really protect your relationship and make it thrive long term. Man, it's people like that you just want to like, oh,
Sadly,
just love them.
my wife was in that place.
Mm,
Not with affairs, but with allowing me to control and do
mm-hmm.
whatever I wanted because it was not.
She didn't want to make you mad.
She didn't want to make you mad.
Yeah.
She wanted to get out of my way,
Yeah.
and when she was trying, I was not listening because
Mm-hmm.
I knew there was no meat.
Mm-hmm.
She tried to get me to counseling. She tried to get me to stop doing certain things, but it was not me. I could
Yeah.
just say whatever, dismiss her, and keep doing what I was doing
Yeah.
until she's standing up out of love,
Mm-hmm.
not of I'm
Mm-hmm.
done. And this is
Mm-hmm.
what before she walked away when she came back, and I was, when she started standing up the right way, I started, okay, I respect this.
Yeah.
I'm a very
Yes.
strong person. I'm
Yes.
a very willed person, but I respect that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.